Well, we've had two very different races in the Trans-Nation Challenge. The GP2 won by Sauber's kart 1979. The F1 won by defending champion Narashi Uzumaki. Here we are for GP3. Who's going to win it today? Hi, I'm Delta EX or Brett KEenan. Joined by commentary once again by Guy Tasker. Guy, two very different races in the field of contrast. The GP3, 12 drivers. This is going to be an interesting display.
Yeah, biggest turnout so far of the day, so looking forward to it again.
Of course, we pay tribute to the fact that it is Easter, so a lot of drivers are currently on holiday. The drivers missing out of this one is CAJ Alt, and we also welcome Going Z28 to the category in the Haas joining Big Mike. So Haas could finally have a good strong package on their hands here. We also welcome back the two Ferraris who missed China, and it looks, and we almost didn't have Infinite March 96, who drove a good race in the in the F1 Invitational along with Erlang Dang. Erlang Dang could be voted driver of the day for the F1, and rightfully so. He drove a very good race, brilliant strategy by the Toro Rosso boys, and that actually has helped Toro Rosso big time in the constructors.
Yeah.
We're just seeing one of the Haases go completely off the circuit there. We're riding with the Joker 35, the benchmark qualifier in the Trans-Nation Challenge so far. He set the pace in Australia as we just trying to figure out who is actually going to start their first flying lap. So I think, going by my logic, it's going to be Big Mike 46385. So again, we hope that we can get some telemetry here. So we didn't have telemetry in the first, and we've got an incident already in Sector 2 as Big Mike now.
I can't see who it is.
Okay, so we're all good for another incident in Sector 2. Where? No incidents showing, so I don't know. It must be a glitch. But either way, we do have a proper feed on the telemetry, so I don't know what it is about GP2, but for some reason it glitches the telemetry. But for GP3, we've got a nice crisp feed. So Big Mike's now approaching Sector 1. He's going to set a 29 flat into Sector 1. Not a bad, actually that's not a bad, very bad just gets a bit loose on the exit of Turn 6, and that's where you spun in the race before.
Yeah, it's I was trying to account which one.
So he's coming now to the first of the DRSs, and Big Mike will be very motivated this weekend with the news that he's got a teammate in Going Z28, long-time pal of ours from back in the days of 2013. Big Mike comes through a 108.1 into Sector 2. But you can already see, there's one thing that you notice of pace. You can see just in the background, the Joker 35 has made ground on Big Mike. So you know when they're making ground, they are faster. So we're going to see what Big Mike comes up with. He's going to cross the line. It's going to be a 1 minute 30.9. Not bad there, but the Joker, a 128.5. That time is already faster than the pole position time set by, well, actually initially TSO Dem set the original fastest lap of a 128.2, but that's faster. That's faster than the other drivers in the F1 category.
Yeah.
That's mental. So currently the list is the Joker 35 and P1 from PMNA. Of course, PMNA will be looking to redeem himself after the unfortunate incident in China, which still, to this very day, nobody can figure out what happened.
No. It's a strange one, isn't it?
Like, I've watched the video back and forth, slowed it down to the point of anything. All I can think of is, like you said to me once, it could have been a latency issue where they've gone into each other and then it's lagged itself in. So the order is the Joker 35 from PMNA, Banana Josh, Going Z28, Infinite March, Big Mike, Naomi 92, XNZ Pro 55, Habs for Life, Pro Opa, Jordan Dittmer, and Erlang Dang yet to set a time. And the one thing about these invitational races that will give Infinite March and Erlang Dang a bit of a boost is that now they know the strategy. They know what to do.
Yeah, well, Erlang Dang definitely ran a accomplished strategy in the last race.
But of course, the grid was a lot shorter, so it did mean that there was a lot less cars to deal with. With 11 other cars on the circuit, I don't think, unless he can get his car up far enough on the medium tyres, I just don't think his strategy will be quite as sound. So I would be going for the reverse strategy that he played in the F1 race. I would start on the softs and then go to the mediums at the end, because then at least you're not going to be lagging behind. The thing is, and it's like I said in the interview at the end of the F1 Grand Prix, if he had more gap on me at the time of the his pit stop, he would have been a real contender for that race win, which would have been a complete upset for all the F1 drivers. All of the two that kind of left at the end of it. We did lose Plevs during the race through to wheel issues, and then TS Odems, of course, started the red flag by not being able to get off the line. So the F1 had an aborted start, and then, of course, the grid was refixtured, and from there...
Was it odd? Definitely an odd start. I mean...
So let's see. So Infinite March now has jumped up to P6 with a 130.89. That is, that time of the Jokers, that's just... Yeah,
that's not a GP3 time.
No, that is not a GP3 time. In fact, I might, get into contact with him about the prospect of shifting up to F1, because that is an F1 time.
Yeah, I think that'd be more appropriate.
Without a doubt. Either that or handicap him to start at the back. Although, the one thing that contrasts how you get into F1 versus GP3 is not necessarily how fast you can go. It's how consistent you drive. So, we saw in Australia, he had the speed, but he didn't have the control.
That's true. He did obviously have a DNF in that race, so...
It's a case of he did have quite a few incidents, but at the moment, Red Bull looking to be struggling a little bit. The top team, so far the best finished team of the TNC, is currently back in sixth and third.
Mason's up in third.
Oh,
so
okay, so that
Mason pulling out the bag today.
Yeah, so a lot of course, XNZ Pro 55 currently one of the most I wouldn't say unlikable character at the moment, but he has been
controversial.
He has he's copped a lot of whack from other drivers about his driving style, and
bit of a Max Verstappen, you could say.
Well, I think a lot of people would probably compare him to Kevin Magnussen.
No.
So.
I was thinking Pastor Maldonado as well, but that might be a bit of an insult.
Yeah, that I would probably go as far as Kevin Magnussen, just a bit overly aggressive, and then kind of actually one of the things I pointed out to myself during the F1 race that was quite interesting was that at one point in the race, the two drivers with 96 at the end of the name was second and third.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but have a bit of a giggle about that, and lost about 3/10 in that lap. So anyway, so we're having a look now currently at the fitted tyres. Ooh, so here's a bit of an interesting play here. So if you look at the detail and go to the best, you can see what the drivers have set their best time on. Banana Josh and Going Z28 have set their best of a 130.6 and a 130.7 on the soft tyre.
Yeah, I think they're both now out on the super.
Yep, so both are out on the super.
Expect
so
improvement there, which could put them up.
I reckon they'll be up in the top two with that kind of play.
Yeah.
If you can do a 136.6, which is only half a second slower than PM&A in second with Super Soft, we're looking at quite a good time here from both the Haas and the Sauber driver. So we saw Sauber show great pace in China, and they could look to repeat it again. So let's see what Josh does through Sector 2 at 29.3. Looked to be about a 1 minute 7 point something sector, so See, all these small sector times don't mean anything to me. It's the end game that really matters. So he's going to come around the last bend. Just a little bit of exit curve that won't hurt too much. Josh will cross the line. A 29.8.
Good time.
So going Z28 on provisionally the front row of the grid. Where is Banana Josh? He's coming through the he's coming across the line. What's he going to do? 29.9 as well. So both drivers now in the 29s. Can anyone match that?
Next.
Oh, PM&A in the. Oh, is that lag? No, that was lag. Okay. It did look a little convincing, like he had put it in the fence, but I would hope.
31.
I am hoping with bated breath that the Joker does not improve this time. Because if he improves that time, he is going to put a lot of infinite march in the. Oh, is he in the fence or is he?
Chosen.
No, he's
just chosen. Naomi 92. That's come across the line.
There is
no
yeah, there is only under a minute left. So yeah,
Big Mike 30.8. So he's P7. Oh, PM&A's just gone P2.
Yeah, 29.4. So that's a good time there. So
That's a good time.
We're gonna watch the Joker fly around here. His teammate Pro Opa currently in P9 with a 31.6. Erlendang last on the circuit with a 133.5 on the mediums. And I think, if I'm correct, I don't think Jordan Dittmer has been able to get into the session. So
he'll be starting from the pit lane or from the back.
Well, if only starting from the pit lane was the thing, that would be.
Yeah, it'd be nice if that was an option.
So the checker flag has been waved. Banana Josh now jumps into P3. Just marginally, 3/1000ths of a second.
Oh,
that hurts when you know that you've been beaten by such a small margin in qualifying. That takes a bit of a whack, but still, it looks like a provisional second row for the debutant of going Z28. Now let's see what let's see what the Joker can do.
PM&A's also going for another line. Joker, no.
Yes, a 28.1.
What?
Unbelievable. Yeah, he is definitely in the wrong league.
Yeah, I think we should be looking at an F1 driver right there.
Yeah, I honestly think I have found myself my new teammate.
That's true. Actually, I think we should keep him in GP3. Or GP2.
I think GP2 could be a bit more of a challenge for him.
Oh, at least GP2 is not. No. Oh, mind you, that's been PM&A set at 28.6.
Yeah, so that's not entirely okay. So maybe we can't entirely rule that out.
That's the kind of. I think I said 28. Did I say 28.6?
You said a 28.9.
Or was it 20? A 28. I said 28.9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some time.
Yeah, because I only said a 29.2, which was actually arguably at the time that was the pole time set by Plevs for pole position in the beta test. But anyway, we'll come to that at the race. But either way, here are the results for the Bahrain Grand Prix. The Joker 35 with a 128.1 on pole from PM&A. Banana Josh going Z28 for Haas. Infinite March, Big Mike, Naomi 92, XNZ Pro 55X, Pro Opa, Habs for Life, very struggling in fact, very off the pace there. Erlendang in 11th and Jordan Dittmer, who could not attend. So that's been qualifying for the GP3. Stay tuned for the race.